So the city of Anaheim intervened with a public venue to cancel an event by Marjorie Taylor Greene and Matt Gaetz. Now, I happen to be a fan of both. You don't have to be troubled by what's going on here and by the rationale provided by the city for canceling this expression of free speech in the city. The first point made by the city of Anaheim is is security concerns. And they say we've conveyed those security concerns to the venue, and the venue agrees with them. And they could have left it at that. There was a difficulty in maintaining security and having the event, but they didn't do that. They go on to say, we respect free speech, but we also have a duty to call out speech that doesn't reflect our city and its values. That's pretty much of a direct quote by the spokesman of the city of Anaheim. And my question is, how do you, quote, call out speech you disagree with by canceling an event? That's not calling something out. Calling something out would seem to be making a critique of it, listening to what Marjorie Taylor Greene and Matt Gaetz have to say, and then going, here's why they're wrong. Here's why it doesn't reflect what most people in Anaheim or in California think. So there's no calling out going on here. The cancellation of an event is not a calling out of anything. But the second and even deeper problem is this idea that what they have to say, quote, doesn't reflect our city and its values. Now, does that mean that the city has some sort of official values? And whose values? Do they reflect all the residents of the city, or a majority of the residents? If they reflect a majority, does the majority have the right to suppress the values of the minority? All of this is flagrantly in violation of the First Amendment, which very clearly says that Congress, and Congress here is a stand-in for government shall make no law restricting freedom of speech or of the press. And so suppressing and shutting down an event because it contradicts the values of the city, values that these people have arrogated to themselves. They become the official spokesman and articulator of these values, and then also the instrument for closing out other values that might contest these official values. I mean, this is basically the recipe book of not just totalitarian, but specifically left-wing totalitarian governments, socialist states that take exactly this line and use the notion of kind of state-sponsored values to brand opponents as enemies of the state, in this case, enemies of the city. And then you begin to shut them down and silence them.